We have been visiting Seoul for the past 5 days and will be flying back to Jeju Island tomorrow. On our last full day in Seoul, we decided to travel to some of our favorite neighborhoods from when we lived in Seoul before we had kids. We headed to one of my favorite places in Seoul, Itaewon. This neighborhood is known for its diverse and multicultural restaurants, nightlife, and shopping. We're on the one of the back streets in Itaewon. We just ate at Petra, which is a restaurant that we visited years and years ago.
10 years ago.
Oh, and it was
just as good as it was
good.
then, yeah.
Oh, it was incredible. Yep.
Yes. Kitty corn.
It's so beautiful. All right.
Jeannie
drew a beautiful picture while we were there. We had so much food. There was lamb couscous and chicken kebab and
The lamb pizza looking thing.
oh yeah, that's just something else. It was all so delicious, like just so flavorful,
And the dips were unreal.
everything was so good.
Everything was so good.
Oh, I'm so glad that we came. It was like
so good. The kids ate more than I've ever seen them eat in my life.
shoveled it down. It was incredible. And yeah, it's good to go back and visit a restaurant and it be just as good as you remembered, or better. Anyway, we're gonna wander a little bit around Itaewon now, see what it's like. After a little wandering around, we decided to visit the neighborhood I lived in while I was pregnant with Martin before we moved back to Canada. We hopped on a bus and headed to Gangnam. We are back in the old neighborhood that we used to live in 2017. So back when I was pregnant with Martin, and right after Martin was born, we actually lived here between, near Gangnam Station, I guess is the more notable place. But this is the GS25 we used to visit. There was also a 7-Eleven near our apartment we used to visit, but that's moved across the street now. Well, we went in, I don't think the lady recognized us, but we recognize her. But it's really cool to be back in like our old neighborhood. We just went in, and Dominic translated on Papago that we used to live here 6 years ago. Just like, she was really nice to us and thank you. And she like read it and she was like, oh yeah. And then like, I was like, oh, I was pregnant with Martin. And she was like, oh yes, 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 I remember you. So that was really nice. And then she saw Jeannie and she's like, oh, you have 2 now. So that was a lot of fun. Every time we live somewhere in Korea, there's always like, we always say there's like the convenience store moms, because you visit the convenience store often and the ladies start to, or men or whoever they are, start to kind of take care of you. But it was really fun that she remembered us and she got to see Martin, shook his hand. It was really sweet. Another story.
She was always really nice to us, whenever, like
so
all the time.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it's nice to see that she's still there. And, yeah, it's nice to say thanks for being so nice to us all the time. Because we used to live right there.
Right, or in this building, on the 6th floor. 6th. It was the 6th. Lukbekiho. It was 602.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
I am right.
Confidence. Unbreakable confidence. So yeah, this is Martin's homecoming. So
This is.
We're looking at all the stores and stuff that are around, and some stood and lasted for the 6 years. There's a lot of new stuff, a lot of different stuff here. So it's nice to be back in the...
It is, it is. The kids,
Okay, guys,
we traveled for quite a few days.
Around, please.
Yep. But we're gonna go, I think, just go do another little loop. We used to go for walks all the time. That was what we did. We would go out each evening, we would go for a nice walk, kind of in the same loop, and it never got old because there's always like something to see.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna go do our stomping grounds of just walking through Gangnam now. So fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. Back on, but how cool is Gangnam? We used to love living here. Just walking around, it's so fun. If you ever get a chance, just like come at night and see all the lights and all the buildings. Everything is so fancy and big and bright. There's lots of shopping. I love Gangnam. It is so cool. We explored Gangnam for the evening and then took a taxi back to our hotel. This was our first trip to Seoul after more than 6 years away. The city will always have a special place in our hearts, and Seoul has something for everybody, I'm absolutely sure of it. We shared just a tiny little bit of what the city has to offer, but we will be back again for sure.